2 students from USC, 2 students from PKU, and 2 students from NTU. And at the end of the semester, they will have to present some innovative proposal on how to improve their campus life, how to improve the greenness of the campus. Okay? The third one is something called no-distance interaction. This is specifically in contrast to the current paradigm called distance education. Distance education has been very popular, but I believe distance education has already reached the commodity stage. In other words, it becomes a price competition. So the more you do it, and the more you drive yourself down to the hill. And research university like us, it becomes very difficult for us to decide whether we want to engage or we don't want to engage. Because there's a lot of money to earn, you have to engage, but the more you engage, the more you drive down your quality. The reason is because distance education eliminates a very important part of learning, that is interaction. If you have no interaction, you'll be better off to study at home. Why do you come to campus? You come to campus because you want to interact. So our approach is, instead of using the technology to cross the distance, we use technology to close the distance. So that you can tell, student here can interact with student here, can interact with student there, regardless of the distance. Therefore, we have an approach called no distance interaction. Okay. So these are the things we have done. I will simply show you a very quick video, and this is a home-based video, so it's not a professional thing. And the video will give you some idea about what has happened, and after the video, I will then continue the lecture, and then we'll come back to the subject of the course. So let me show you a video right here. Can we turn off the front light here so people can see a little bit better?
Students everywhere see the world differently than adults. They aren't afraid of change. They know that life moves fast. They know that the 21st century will be about building bridges across cultures, not borders across nations. Cultural perspectives should be explored, not assimilated, and diverse viewpoints should be shared, not ignored. Students today don't just want a chair in the classroom, but rather a seat at the table. Why should class be teacher-focused when it can be learner-centered? We must build an environment where unconventional thinking soars. We used to say that content is king. Now they're discovering that context is key. The world is interconnected. So if all today's critical problems are global, why shouldn't the solution be too? Our way of educating in the past won't unlock the future. It's time for no distance education. Everyone on the same page, no matter where their classroom is.
Okay, this is the lecture that I typically give at USC.
As people start to exchange those value information, and you can start to collect value. Right? Yes? There's something here?
Oh, I was just going to say the same kind of premise applies to Cramster or other services like that.
Yes.
Where, you know, if you solve ever so many problems and everyone else ensures that it's correct, they'll give you access to other corrections.
Yes. Now, any suggestion from PKU, NTU side?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there are many successful cases, but I still doubt. Why should I share my information to others? It doesn't make any sense to me.
You see, this kind of information sharing is as such that for each individual, the effort is nothing. But collectively, lessons become very valuable. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
But still, I have a question is, like Wikipedia. It is true that I did my little job and I get much.
Everyone
but even if I didn't do anything, I can still get the information, right?
You have answer?
The reason why I personally contribute to Wikipedia is because we all have certain areas of knowledge that are our expert areas of knowledge, and in sharing that with others, I mean, I gain a certain satisfaction. And like you said, the biggest satisfaction comes from being like, oh, I know that wrong.
Yeah,
I'm more intelligent than random internet guys.
Exactly. Any input from NTU campus?
And I think it's always, it's to some extent depends on the convenience to the access. Like the Facebook, actually, I didn't get anything from the Facebook. But it's easy to access, and the Wikipedia, I didn't need to do a lot of things to get to provide more information there. And it is a fashion as well. I need to catch a fashion, and a lot of people around me are doing that.
Very, very, very true.
Okay, they're cross-cultural.
Did I use for pen and paper on a board? No, it's not like a thumbtack. It's not for paper. You use them in a pair or separately? In a pair. No, they don't. It's like the three in the middle, they are connected, but you pull them apart to use it.
There's no delay.
So when you store them is like this. When you use them, you have to pull them apart. Use the both together.
It's used for corn? For like roasted corn?
Eating corn? Yeah.
Okay, here is a case study. The students team will work on case study together.
Welcome to today's news. 007 News. I am the reporter, Yi Ruang. We are here today to talk about the Shanzhai. We are now on SNG Connection with Zhuo in Shenzhen, China.
Market, and it's raining outside. This is the customer in this market.
As a customer myself, I know that the complementary goods availability of the Shanzhai is nearly zero.
Thank you very much. I give my feedback to you.
Well, thank you, Ms. Zhang. We have an SNG connection over there to the U.S. Oh, it's Wilson there. Wilson.
I'm here arrived in the streets of LA here. I'm trying to figure out what people think about the Shanzhai phenomenon.
Okay. And at the end, students will have open presentation.
As part of the sustainability program, we decided to demonstrate how practical it can be to make logical improvements close to home. And they PKU, the China's flagship university, a more environmentally sustainable campus. Our degree that possible and our international partners prepare our pollution.
And then some remarks.
There is a cultural tradition in China.
So this is at USC.
If you want to work together, you must eat together first. In American, it is more like if you want to work together, you must play golf together first. However, for you to succeed in the new world, I believe that these different customs will become one. That is, if you want to work together, you must learn together. It is for this reason that Professor Lu initiated the iPodia program so that you can work together toward building a better world tomorrow.
And so I think it's a great opportunity for all of you to be immersed in this environment. I think it offers wonderful opportunities to interact between USC, NTU, and PKU. I look forward to this becoming a very important tool and scale it up actually to other courses as well.
I congratulate you on your ambitious and much-needed leadership on cross-cultural collaboration among the leading students from China and the U.S. Your World Classroom Initiative, led by Professor Stephen Liu, is a promising and innovative approach that highest regards Al Gore, former Vice President of the United States.
Okay, that's the introduction of the iPodia course. And from this point on, I want to come back to my lecture. And the lecture is about global innovation principle and practice. And the reason we want to teach this subject in this setting is we believe cultural diversity is a very important source of innovation. We believe that cultural diversity can be a very important inspiration for innovator. And that's why this course is talk about this. Now, at the beginning of each lecture, I always use a table to show the lecture. This is lecture number 10. And this course have a total of 23 lectures. And we have a different way to, we have different lecture content, case study progress, and the team project. They all go through this in parallel, okay? This lecture is on March 30th, Wednesday. This is all local time. And we are now having the interactive discussion, we're now having the interactive lecture and discussion. Okay? Okay. My lecture always goes this. At the very beginning, I will tell students what they're going to learn. Then when you go through all these materials and go through discussion, at the end, we'll tell them what they have learned. And then they will repeat all this process. Okay? The first part, and I already finished this part, right? This is a special lecture. I already acknowledge all the support. I also want to thank President So and for giving me this opportunity. And President So has been very supportive of this activity, and we're hoping that very soon KAIST can be a partner of this. Right now we have 3 partners already, and we're looking for KAIST to be the 4th partner. And I recently had a conversation with the Vice President of Technion in Israel, and Technion is also very interested to join this. And our goal is to build this truly as a global learning community. Let me just say one word in here. Although the rule is not to charge each other money, but there's a mechanism called the learning seed exchange, which can be very useful for university to participate. For example, here are 20 UAC students that I teach, which I have to teach. In the meantime, I also teach 20 PKU students and 20 NTU students. After I finish this teaching, NTU and PKU will owe UAC 20 seats on different courses. You get the idea? So for example, some of the UAC students will be interested to learn a business school course called Doing Business in China. So rather than for UAC to hire an expert in this area, we can then take 20 seats from a course there. So this becomes a learning seed exchange mechanism. This will have a tremendous of offering the best course to our students. Right now, the model we have is very expensive because if you want to have a good course, you have to hire the best teacher and then you offer the course. Here, we can have students to benefit the best teacher from this consortium, and then we can start to share a lot of learning resources. Okay? So, the next thing... So the next thing I want to do is engage in my lecture. And today I want to talk about I will give a brief summary of the innovation principles that we have been talking about. And then I will give you several specific examples, okay? The important thing that we teach in this course is we believe an innovator must know how to methodically manage and rationally execute the creativity. We don't believe creativity is random. We believe this has a method to do that, okay? And the second one is the systematic innovation has 4 interactive stages. The first stage of innovation is understand the real needs. However, those needs are the current needs, which we call as is. So if you want to innovate anything, you have to have a good understanding of what is the current state of affair. You have to have a good understanding of what are the current customer experience. Again, this is a current. However, a very important thing about innovation is you should never innovate for the current needs. The reason is the current needs always change. And by the time you finish your innovation, the current needs become different. So what is important for innovator is to, based on the current needs, and